All right, let's get him on. He is a magical force for all things cultural, everything in the arts, music, movies, television series. He writes for the Marina Times. He's a San Francisco kid. He's Michael.
You're spinning the wheel for Michael.
Wait a minute. Is that the wrong? Remember, the harp is what we want to bring him in with.
Okay.
Do we have the harp, sir? Oh, thank you. Thank you. He comes in on a rainbow. Oh, sometimes. It's Michael Snyder, everybody. Yeah.
Hey there, Michael.
Hey. Okay. I mean, we've had technical difficulties here.
There's no need to draw attention to them, Michael. All right, let's just move on.
We do what we can here. Yeah. But listen, I'm excited. It has begun. It's Halloween weekend. Actually, Halloween began right after Labor Day with bags of mini Snickers at the supermarket and witchy decorations at Walmart and Walgreens. It's earlier every year, but it's upon us. It's creepy and spooky, mysterious and ooky. So I want everybody to treat yourself before you trick yourself. Have a good time out there this weekend. Be careful, be sensible, but be wild. Guys, I have the inside dope on why Mark Zuckerberg really renamed his company Meta. It's the inside dope. It's because he never met a person he didn't want to exploit.
I see what he did there with the meta and the meta. I got it.
You got to do what you got to do.
All right.
Anyway, should we get to movies?
Yeah, could we? Thank you.
It's a Halloween weekend, so we have some horror films, which I think is very appropriate. First up, we have Last Night in Soho, the latest movie from the sly, skillful, and endlessly clever UK director and screenwriter Edgar Wright. In case the name doesn't ring a bell, Wright is the filmmaker who previously brought us Baby Driver, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and Shaun of the Dead, among other entertainments. So co-written by Wright, Last Night in Soho is a heady brew of supernatural thriller, crime drama, and period nostalgia. That's right in my sweet spot. It's also Wright's love letter to London in the 60s and the UK pop culture of the day. It's very stylish. It's mysterious. It's engaging. And it's graced by performances by two up-and-coming young actresses, Anya Taylor-Joy of The Queen's Gambit and Emma and The Witch, and Thompson Mackenzie, probably best known for Jojo Rabbit, but she also co-starred in the wonderful indie drama Leave No Trace, and one slightly older actor who is a cult hero, having played the Doctor on Doctor Who, Prince Philip in The Crown, etc., that being Matt Smith. Now, Mackenzie plays Eloise, a young woman from the sticks, meaning Cornwall in the UK, who dreams of doing what her late mother never did. She wants to go to London and find career success. And to her delight, she gets a scholarship to a posh school of fashion design. But when she gets there, she's belittled for her mousy naivete and her love of 60s pop music by all these hipper fellow students. So she moves off campus to a ramshackle Soho walk-up and begins to have dreams where she's actually back in the swinging 60s, inhabiting the body of a sexy would-be singing star named Sandy, played by Taylor-Joy. Unfortunately, the dreams, Eloise's and Sandy's, turn dark, and the past starts to leak into the present to Eloise's dismay.
But these are dreams, right?
Yeah.
Or you're saying, so it's not like one of those things where the dreams are real. The dreams just leak into reality.
Well, yeah. Are they real or are they not? Is she getting some kind of prescient, image of what's to happen, what's happened already?
Anyway, 100% a ding word. Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead, yeah.
Reinforcing Wright's homage to the 60s, the supporting cast features three acting icons of the era who first burst on the scene back then and have had long and celebrated careers. Terrence Stamp.
Oh, yeah.
Rita Tushingham, who was beloved in A Taste of Honey back then, and the late, great Diana Rigg of, Avengers and Game of Thrones.
She's in this movie?
She is. This is her last film.
Wow.
By the way, Taylor-Joy blew me away with her version of Petula Clark's bittersweet 65 hit Downtown at a pivotal point. Good God, the woman can sing. Watch out, Lana Del Rey, because Anya Taylor-Joy is coming for your crown as a dream pop chanteuse. Really loved the film. And let's just say it's in theaters. If you can handle a theater, this is a cool thing to see tonight, I would suggest. So Last Night in Soho.
Is it scary or not?
Yes, it's scary and not.
Too scary for me?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
you can
all
avert your eyes during the scary parts.
I'm asking for the audience. I mean, I know I say it for me.
You can squeal like a little girl at times. It's okay.
I'm a selfless host, so I ask for everybody else.
You're a beautiful man.
Yeah.
Not quite as good as I might have hoped. Antlers is nonetheless a pretty solid horror movie with a monstrous, multi-sided antagonist. Let's just say it was a way better watch than Halloween Kills. And it would be a decent, creepy-themed night at the movies tonight if it wasn't for Last Night in Soho being a better movie. Okay,
it's called Antlers. Go ahead.
Antlers will be a fine weekend diversion at home when it's available for streaming. It's more than a simple creature feature in that it touches on themes of addiction, family abuse, and by its setting, poverty's influence on both, as well as mankind's current destruction of nature. Those are just thematic sidebars, but basically an ancient Native American demon thing in the depths of the earth is awakened from its slumber, leading to disappearances and one troubled student's aberrant behavior. This all inspires an investigation by a local middle school teacher and her brother, the sheriff, both of whom have experienced issues while growing up. Kind of helps that the teacher's played by Kerry Russell and the sheriff is played by Jesse Plemons. They're both great. Directed by Scott Cooper. This guy's filmography includes Crazy Heart and Out of the Furnace and a couple lesser efforts, but I can't help to think that the producer of Antlers, one Guillermo del Toro, might have really pushed this one to a higher apex of fear. It's in theaters. Again, more like video stuff.
Very good. By the way, just Chris, aberrant, please, is or aberrant, however, but he said aberrant anyway. Either way, it's a ding word.
Oh, good.
Go ahead.
All right. Now I'd like to review an acting tour de force from two young actresses. And no, I am not re-reviewing Last Night in Soho. I'm talking about the new period drama Passing, which is set in 1920s New York City and stars Tessa Thompson, who's going to be Valkyrie in the new Thor movie coming up, and Ruth Negga, soon to be opposite Daniel Craig on Broadway in a new adaptation of Shakespeare's Macbeth. In Passing, Thompson plays Irene, a light-skinned, well-to-do black woman who lives in Harlem with her husband, a doctor, and their two sons. And one day, while patronizing an upscale midtown tea room on the down-low race-wise, because she's kind of light-skinned, she runs into an old friend named Claire, who is a much lighter-skinned black woman, played by Negga. In fact, Claire, whose hair is dyed blonde, passes as white. She's married to a very successful white man, here played by Alexander Skarsgård, and has a daughter who turned out to look Caucasian. Okay, Irene is a bit flummoxed, but Claire pushes her to renew their friendship, which triggers tumult in both women's lives. Beautifully acted by all involved. This is Oscar bait for Negga and Thompson, and exquisitely shot in black and white. Passing is the first directorial effort from the fine actress Rebecca Hall, who also wrote the screenplay based on a 1929 novel of the same name. I've loved Hall in movies like The Town, The Prestige, and the recent horror film The Night House, and this is one impressive debut as a director. But, you know, her dad, inside info, her dad, Peter Hall, was a renowned British theater director with the Royal Shakespeare Company. And speaking of legacy, the Lily-White Hall is apparently part black on her mother's side. So this was definitely a passion project, and you can feel it. Passing is in theaters this weekend and on Netflix next Friday.
Wow. So here you go. Last Night in Soho, you really liked.
I did.
It's got the eerie thing, the dreams that then inform real-life experience. Are they dreams, you asked me? I don't know. I'm going to have to see. Last Night in Soho, that's got Antlers. You actually enjoyed that as well.
It was
Michael
okay.
Snyder.
Yeah, I thought so.
You feel like maybe wait for streaming.
Yeah, it wasn't great. We've seen this sort of thing before, and it's done well, and it's very, very moody and atmospheric, which I like.
Okay. And then Passing, the period piece from the 1920s, looks like it has some themes of race and amazing performances, you say, and very well directed as well. This is the hat trick. You really like all three of these things.
Well, yeah, to different degrees, absolutely. One is pure entertainment, one is, a horror film, and one is a beautifully acted drama.
In the last 10 seconds, would you like to comment on the word out of the Giants organization and out of Major League Baseball about the Giants?
Well, as you know, in honor of Halloween, I'm wearing orange and black. Or is it for Halloween? You know me. I wear my Giants colors, and boy, I'm thrilled to see Farhan Zaidi acknowledged as Executive of the Year, Gabe Kapler acknowledged as Manager of the Year, and our very own beloved Buster Posey comeback player of the year in the National League. So, yeah, you know,
I knew you'd love that. I knew you'd love that.
Quote the beleaguered Jimmy Garoppolo, feels great, baby.
Feels great, baby. You can read him in the Marina Times and hear him here on Fridays. Bye, Michael.
Bye, Michael.
Michael Snyder, the Culture Blaster. If you want to find him on social media, it's at Culture Blaster.